In the late 60s and early 70s, it was damn hard to find a band as heavy as Led Zeppelin. And yeah, technically the first true heavy metal band, Black Sabbath, came out a year later in 1970. But it's undeniable to say that Led Zeppelin were true pioneers of the genre, and most definitely planted the seeds of heavy metal as we know it. And if you don't believe me, then I've compiled a list of the top 10 heaviest Led Zeppelin songs ever put on vinyl. Let's get this started. Of the variety of styles explored on all sides of physical graffiti, none were as straight up as the spontaneous attack of the Wanton song. This tight, compact little sledgehammer sucker punches you the second you turn it on and puts you in a chokehold for the rest of the duration. My number 9 pick is the closer from Led Zeppelin 1, How Many More Times. And if you watched my top 10 underrated Led Zeppelin songs list, then you should know how much I freaking love this song. It's a titanic bruiser. Absolutely heavy stuff here. And every single moment of its 8-minute and 27-second running time is absolutely worth it. From the opening, crawling, lumbering bass line of John Paul Jones to the simply volcanic outro by the band, this song is just pure heaviness and an easy pick for this list. Despite being one of their biggest radio hits, Black Dog's Bite has not softened up at all over the past 47 years. In fact, this old hound's as powerful as ever, fueled by the bitchin' riffs of Jimmy Page and the snarlin' howls of Robert Plant. This is 24-karat heavy blues rock and roll brilliance at its best. Led Zeppelin had a lot of awesome album openers, and this one just might be one of their very best. It's really ironic when you think about it, that this song originally was an acoustic blues number written in the 1930s, that somehow eventually evolved into one of Zep's wildest, proggiest, and heaviest concoctions to date. Vicious pounding and absolutely cranking it. This is the sound of a band giving it their absolute all in a really dark time. There's a reason why Nobody's Fault But Mine is seen as one of 2 songs off the album Presence that anyone seems to care about. Because it's absolutely badass. This is just an epic number, and one of my absolute favorites by them. My number 6 pick is my favorite Led Zeppelin song off my favorite Led Zeppelin album, Heartbreaker. And I can say this about a lot of Led Zeppelin songs, but I just might think that Heartbreaker is the most badass Led Zeppelin song ever recorded. I mean, it's just pure swagger and ball swing and rock and roll at its absolute best. The riff is just godly. The low end is just pumping here. And the solo by Jimmy Page just blew my mind. Completely unaccompanied, completely improvised nonetheless. Just fantastic. One of the best guitar solos he's ever done. This song has as much strut as it has gut. Even on Led Zeppelin's mostly acoustic third album, there is one heavy metal monster amongst them. The wild, charging, violent Viking anthem of the Immigrant Song was my introduction to the band, and ever since I first heard it, I never looked back since. Its stammering, hammering, galloping guitar riff, just those mystifying, howling war cries. This song is so badass, and not to mention, it's about Vikings. How can it not just totally rock? This song has been for a really long time one of my favorite songs by them. I couldn't have asked for a better introduction, and yes, it's damn heavy. Hammer of the Gods, indeed. Yet another old blues song that Led Zeppelin took and morphed into an absolute behemoth, When the Levee Breaks, the closer from Led Zeppelin 4, is a chronicle of the Mississippi floods of 1927. And although you could consider the original by Memphis Minnie and Kansas City McCoy as almost jaunty in nature, Led Zeppelin's version is anything but. Dark, ominous, and foreboding, When the Levee Breaks is the sound of an oncoming tidal wave. John Bonham's opening drum line is one of the most memorable drum fills in drum history. Just pounding, crushing, and simply titanic. And how can I forget about those snarling, ripping harmonicas? I swear, I've never heard harmonica sound so badass before. My little 5th grade mind first hearing this song thought they were guitars. Damn, this song is just It's just one of the first songs that came to mind when I thought of heavy. It's just an absolute bruiser, one of my favorite Led Zeppelin songs, and has all the power of a tsunami. The hardest rockin' song from Led Zeppelin's hardest rockin' album. It doesn't matter how many times you hear A Whole Lot of Love, it is gonna be kick-ass every single damn time. It's pretty much the prototype for every single hard rock song ever written. It has probably the greatest riff ever written, and that solo is just godly. This song sounds like the entrance music for Godzilla or something. I mean, it's just a lumbering monster of a track. And to think it was recorded in 1969 just blows me away. This song, literally the perfect rock and roll song in every way, shape, and form. Just 100%, just swaggering, ballsy, kick-ass, heavy rock and roll right here. Whole Lot of Love. Doesn't matter how many times you hear it. As I said, always will be kick-ass. When punks in the late 70s started to criticize Led Zeppelin for being too pretentious, they probably forgot about communication breakdown when saying that. This speed-driven, breakneck powerhouse goes full throttle the whole way through and never lets up once. And yeah, it's one of the shortest, most simplest, most straightforward songs in their entire career, but every single short second is worth it and takes nothing away from how awesome this song really is. The pounding riff, the wild, unhinged, manic soloing, oh my goodness, it is still every bit as intense, heavy, and just powerful today as it was when it was recorded back in 1969. That's right, 1969, not even 1970. This song is just seriously heavy even today, and to think that Led Zeppelin has one song that's even heavier, which we'll get to after a few honorable mentions. And my number one pick for the heaviest Led Zeppelin song of all time is none other than the centerpiece of Led Zeppelin 1, Dazed and Confused. My lord. My freaking lord. This song. I mean, Dazed and Confused sounds absolutely gargantuan today. But can you just imagine how freaking nuts this song must have sounded to a person hearing it for the first time ever in early 1969? That's right, not even 1970, early 1969. It was recorded in 1968. Wow. I mean, it still sounds just mind-blowingly heavy today, and it was recorded like 50 years ago. I still can't get over that. It must have sounded like it was from a different planet or something. It must have sounded like it was created by aliens. I mean, there was nothing, and I mean practically nothing, that sounded even remotely close to how heavy Dazed and Confused was. I mean, the soloing, absolutely fantastic. Just the creepy middle section, just spine-chilling. I mean, Robert Plant's vocals, just howling. The intense outro, just, oh my gosh. This is a band at their top form. And there's a reason why Led Zeppelin 1 is often seen as one of the most influential albums of all time. It's because of songs like Dazed and Confused. Rock and roll would never be the same after this album, and we have Dazed and Confused to thank for that, for creating hard rock. Well guys, that was my video. I'm sorry I haven't been uploading as much as usual, just that we got a new computer and it's Apple, so my phone isn't really compatible with it, and I've had lots of schoolwork and all this stuff, so yeah, I've been trying my best, but hopefully you like this video, and if you want to see more just like it, then make sure to slap that subscribe button and stay tuned in for more content. So until next time, bye!